How fucking long does this go for?
That long. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 15 of the Playerish Podcast Cave Sessions. Episode 15, Emma. Oh, yeah. By the way, Emma's here. Hello, Emma.
Hello.
Yes, we apologise. It has been, and I looked it up just before we come on, Em. It has been exactly 3 months to the day since we recorded our last full episode. Now, we fully intended to record much more often, obviously, but while we were in America, we fully intended to record while we were there as well. The only problem was our days were so packed that we were knackered every single day. That it just there was never an opportunity, and it's weird because you think in 2.5 weeks you think, oh, surely there'd be some downtime, but there really wasn't.
Nope.
So it just didn't happen, and I did have everything organised on my phone that we could record an episode, but no, it just went awry. And from there, it's been another shitstorm. So 3 months again, never supposed to happen. It's been 2.5 months since we have been on live as well, because we did the Melanoma March live draw as well, just before we went away. As a matter of fact, it was the day before we left. So, yeah, we managed to sneak that in there, which was great, and everyone donated, and we gave away some great prizes. Lots of money made for the Melanoma March with Jeff Butcher. So shout out to Jeff and everybody else. Thank you for participating in that. But yeah, nothing since then. And we do apologise. I don't know if you can hear my voice. I can hear it clearly. A little bit raspy. And today, the only reason we're doing the podcast today is because I actually have a voice. And so does Em.
And basketball got cancelled.
And yes, so the second week in a row, our basketball on Tuesday night got cancelled. I think we didn't go to the week before either because we were sick. Or was it last week? We were
the week before that.
Yeah.
The week before that, we were both dead. Last week, it got cancelled because no one was playing, but we were sick. And then today got cancelled.
So it's been a hell of a time. If you do follow the Playerish Podcast Facebook page, you would have seen, hopefully, a post that we made a week or so ago. I can't remember now when we made it. 2 weeks maybe.
A couple of weeks ago.
Well, we have been dealing with some health issues outside of just being sick, but some things came to life probably 2 weeks. I'll be honest, about 2 weeks before we left, I did start to feel something wasn't quite right, and I was not feeling the best. But obviously, being a stubborn male and a husband that just loves his wife very much and wanted to take her on a great trip, I didn't say anything, not a word. I just wanted to get it over with and have a good time and not want to ruin a trip for Em. So didn't say anything. I said I'll just figure it out when I get back. And it didn't come to light until we were there that I was really struggling at times. So did have to go see was it urgent care it was called, in Lake Tahoe, which we'll get into later, but what an amazing place that is. Very nice people. And we did have to go see the urgent care because I was struggling to breathe big time. I'm not feeling good at all that day. So I went to urgent care, and they actually wanted to send me to the emergency room, which is obviously urgent care is sad enough as it is, but they said desperately they wanted me to go to the emergency room and have myself checked out because my blood pressure was critical levels, and they were actually worried about me having a heart attack while we were there. So little bit scary, and I, again, didn't tell Em anything while she was sitting in the waiting room waiting for me to come out. And the girls were very lovely to her and myself as well. They're lovely people. I just basically begged the doctor to not send me to the emergency room and let me continue on with the trip. And once I got back, I would see the doctor straight away, and she eventually agreed to that. Not like she could force me anyway, 'cause stupid me. I've never done this before, but I actually forgot to get travel insurance for the first time ever on any trip I've ever gone to overseas. I just completely blanked on getting travel insurance, which is a big mistake.
Just snuck up on us and we just kind of forgot.
You should never do that. If you're going anywhere overseas, you should always get travel insurance, and you'll know why. Not just because of what I just mentioned about health, but which would have killed us, and it almost did, price wise. We'll get more into that as well. But a lot of things started to go wrong, and I reckon it's because we didn't have travel insurance. Because every time you actually have it, nothing ever goes wrong. So, but definitely recommend doing it. Do appreciate everybody's really kind words on the post I made. Everyone was just very, very nice and supportive. We're working on it. Health is getting better, which is good. My blood pressure isn't so high anymore. I'm on some medications, and it's definitely helping. My heart is still not happy at times. I do feel a lot of pain in my chest, which is a little bit scary, but it is on the decline. The pain's not as often, and the medication is helping as far as my blood pressure goes. So on the mendem. And unfortunately, we got back and just got sick and just haven't been able to shake it. So I haven't had a voice for a couple of weeks. Emma hasn't had a voice until the last couple of days. So this podcast, unfortunately, has had to take a bit of a back seat, which has not been great. Em's been begging me to do it. Not begging me, but almost forcing me to, let's go. Get out there and let's go record. It's just been too hard. Obviously, with the illnesses that we've had and health troubles, it's just been hard to even think about coming out here and being happy and talking about our amazing trip, which I'm always very happy to do, though. So here we are. So today's episode will be mostly about our trip. So if you do not want to know anything about our holiday, you're boring. But also you are welcome to switch off at any point. We'll also put chapters up for this one. It won't be that long, I wouldn't imagine. I say that every time, but
we'll try and keep it short.
We'll try and keep it short, and to good reason, because we're going to film this episode, and then we're immediately going to film another episode, which will be the standard format show. So we're filming back to back, but we're going to release the second one a couple of days after, give you a chance to take the first one in. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, and then watch the second part, which will be a regular scheduled format. So we probably won't make a costume change either. I have to take my jumper off if it gets warm in here, but I can't see that happening because it'll be bloody freezing.
I also don't think the heater's working.
It is, but really slowly. I don't know what's going on there, but it is warmer in here than it was.
Well, I'm freaking cold over here.
It was ice cold in here when I came in to turn everything on, and I thought it had already been going, but it wasn't. All right, so for those of you who have no clue what we're talking about, welcome to the show. If you've never seen the show before, congratulations. You've stumbled
picked the wrong freaking episode to introduce yourself to the show.
You have, if you're a football fan, but there will be a little bit of football in here. So don't turn it off just yet. We will talk a little bit about football, but I'm talking a very small amount because we're going to talk about what or any football we saw or paid attention to while we were there. So listen out for that. We will discuss it. But also, if you are new to the show, like I said, welcome. And if you're here just because you want to hear about a couple of Aussies going to America, then hey, cool, welcome. We'll tell you some tips if we've got any. And we'll just give you a bit of a rundown about our trip and what we did, what we got up to, and how much fun we had. We also have a M Quick Hands in here as well.
Hey?
Yeah. Quick Hands is back. I don't know, do we ask Quick Hands last time? I think we asked one question.
Why would you... You put me on the spot now.
Well, I have. Yeah, that's what Quick Hands is all about. Okay, but not doing it straight away.
Thank God
because we still have hats
Oh, my God.
Do you know why we still have hats and we're
Because
still
no
talking
one
about it?
bought any.
That's right. Other than a couple of people, no one else bought any. So if you would like a hat to support the show, please do so. We do have...
And if you thought we were broke before we went on holiday, now we're even more broke. Because now we've got like X amount of hats and no money.
Yes,
No, I'm joking.
all this money we paid for all these things, and it has definitely not helped at all to fund the podcast that we were hoping to do. The actual show is fine, but the Spreaker still does cost us $400 a year to host, and that bill will be coming around very soon. So if you would like to support the show, if you'd just like a really cool hat, we have these as well as the Cave Sessions hats and, of course, the Cave Sessions T-shirts, which, as you can see, the link below. No, wrong end. Down here, you'll see the link, and then also in the description, there'll be a link to the coffee shop as well, where you can buy our lovely merchandise. Em's already tuned herself out. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. There's that little bell, cool little animation which I made. I thought was really smart, which everyone loves. Let's do it again. Em's not amused.
You're cooked.
It's even worse for Em because I can see everything that's happening on this. I've got a
Can't
little
see
screen
shit.
here. Em doesn't have anything on that side. She just stares at me the whole time. That must be fun. Yes, it is, because I'm your husband. You should enjoy that.
Oh, yes.
All right, now that we've done... Hang on, I've actually picked up the wrong little format here.
You know, mate, I was like, we're going to do this without any editing, but if you keep going the way you're going,
What have I done here?
fucked up. I mean,
Oh,
we're off already.
that's all right. Nah, I'm an idiot. I just can't read. Anyway... May have edited that, I don't know. Take one. Kidding. Almost lost Em. All right, so before we go any further, we'll have a really short little video to show you. Now, this is just a real snippet of our trip. It's quite a short little piece together. And another reason why we didn't do the podcast for a few weeks after we got back
Freaking video.
was this freaking video, because I tried to make a holiday vlog. Well, I guess it's a vlog, but a holiday package by myself, because I thought I was this amazing video editor now because I've been doing this podcast. I've been editing all this stuff together. So I thought, oh man, how difficult could this video be? Piss off! Like I don't know how they do it. Just getting all the stuff, all the video and the photos that we had, just getting that together and putting it into the program was the worst part ever. So I gave up real fast. It took me weeks to get to the point where I've said, nah, stuff this, I'm not doing it anymore. And I just used the little program that Apple's got where they actually do it for you and put together a cool little video, which is what you're about to see. And then throughout the rest of the show, we'll just pop up some photos and videos of things we may be talking about so you can see a little bit more. Sound good, Em?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Well, here is the video for you all to enjoy. And once we come back, we'll get it started. Enjoy the video.
3.
Two, three.
You right? Mm-hmm. Well, wasn't that riveting? For you, that was about 3 minutes. For me and Em, that was about 5 seconds. Obviously, I'm going to edit that into the show later. So, Em, because you don't remember what was in that video, even though
What do you mean? I haven't even seen the video.
Well, yes, you have. The little one that
yes,
my phone made
yes.
for me.
No, I do, yes.
Yeah. Because I even tried to outsource it to someone on Fiverr. Because a lot of the stuff, like that thing there, that's actually been outsourced to Fiverr. Someone made that for us. Pretty much everything I've done on any of the live stuff has always been done by Fiverr people. So Fiverr's great. So I tried to do that as well, but figured it was just going to cost an absolute fortune, and they had too many rules on it, and I just gave up. So that little Apple video did me all right, and it gave you the gist of what you're about to see. I didn't edit that video at all because you can't for some reason. So there were a few little quirky things in there, but like I said, as we go along, we'll show some videos and photos of the trip as it happened. So, Em, where did it start? First of all, we didn't go straight to America.
No. When Singapore?
I don't know how you just forgot already. So this is not going to go well if you've already forgotten the very first thing we did. But yes, so the first place we went on our trip was Singapore, which we were there for about 3.5 hours.
About more. About 4?
Okay.
4 or 5? Because we did quite a fair bit while we were there.
Yeah, I think it was about 5 hours because the second time was longer. That was about 7.
Because we had lunch and everything, and then we walked around for ages.
Yeah, so if you've never been to Singapore, or the Singapore airport at least, that thing is insane.
It's impressive.
It's huge. It's the biggest airport I've ever been to, but it's not just an airport. It's a theatre. It's got a butterfly garden in it.
It's got a butterfly farm, a massive koi pond. Even had like an indoor smoking room where like people went into this room and it was like sucking the air out so they could smoke inside, but we couldn't smell it.
The worst part of that, though, is it's directly opposite the butterfly garden.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like, these Singaporeans, they obviously built
they
an
smoke,
incredible
though.
airport as well. But then they had the butterfly garden directly opposite the smokers' lounge. But you could smell it. It was pretty strong.
A little bit. Well, it's because it was coming off of people.
Yeah.
Like the fumes coming off people's jumpers and stuff. They had a free cinema.
That's crazy. Like, they had a free theatre that you could
yeah.
just go and watch movies throughout the day. Like,
Yeah.
apparently they had free massage chairs.
Which we
and stuff.
couldn't fucking find.
Oh, so annoyed about that.
We searched for about, I'm going to say at least 2 hours for those
Yeah.
massage chairs. We were getting so angry.
We wasted a lot of time.
I was so angry. I just wanted a freaking massage. That's all I wanted.
So we did start out at Singapore. It was fairly cheap.
Yeah.
The lunch was pretty cheap, pretty good. It was probably about $8. One thing that was a little bit disturbing was the koi pond. So us now being koi connoisseurs, koi lovers, because we have our own koi pond.
Anyone that's watched previous episodes has heard you go on about how they can get parasites, and immediately the first thing I said to you when we got to that koi pond was I saw one jump out of the water like pretty high, and I was like, fuck, they're not happy fish. No. They were huge. They were like this big and like that fat, but oh my God, one of them, it really upset me.
How big were they, Em? Show the camera.
Oh, sorry. So they're probably like that long, and they were like that thick. They were huge.
Yeah, it's thick.
Wishful thinking, mate. It's about that long and about that thick.
They were big.
They were huge, but
you guys should see the photos on the screen. They're massive.
So the pond was literally just imagine a tiled bathtub. It was huge, but it was tiles, and it had like ledges like this. And anyway, so I remember seeing a fish jump out of the water, and I said to Erin, I was like, that's not good. And then there was a white one, and this white fish was red raw, like scales falling off him practically down to the bone. Like he was so unhappy.
Yeah,
he was just in pain. Yeah. And he was like scraping himself against the ledges, trying to itch himself. And we were like, they got freaking parasites. That's what we were dealing with. But they were nice fish. But
very nice fish. They were huge, and they obviously lived a long time. But yeah, those parasites are dangerous, and they kill fish quickly.
They were not happy, and just I think. All of them were flashing. All of them were doing the scraping and the flashing and the jumping, which means they're unhappy. But that one really upset me. I couldn't stop looking at him, like how red he was and how
it didn't have any scales.
He was red raw. Like it'd be like you constantly itching yourself and you've like pulled layers of your skin off. Like it was disgusting. Like I felt so bad for him. Like I almost wanted to say something, but what are you supposed to say?
What do you do? Yeah. Nothing we could do, unfortunately, but they were pretty incredible. Like, the fact they had this giant koi pond in the airport.
No one else would have noticed. It's funny because actually the fish were jumping out of the water and doing all these real cool tricks, which was them itching because of the parasites. But kids were like, "Oh my God, how cool!" Like, so anyone that would have seen them wouldn't have noticed, but us.
Yeah, sad, isn't it?
Sad, but yeah,
it was sad for the fish. Hopefully, they get the treatment they need, but
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I honestly don't think they knew how to keep them, so they probably go through quite a few of them. Sad to see, but yeah, super cool koi pond.
It was massive, yeah.
But if you ever go to Singapore, you'll probably see what we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
because they'll still be flashing. There'll be quite a few of them missing, no doubt. But really nice fish, kind of a cool pond.
Big fucking ass, but nice fucking fish.
From there, and we went to Tokyo.
We weren't there long.
No.
Were we?
We weren't. So we basically just stopped in Tokyo for a fuel.
We didn't think we were going to get off the plane either, but they booted us off the plane and then put us back on again.
Yeah, thank God. So the whole reason I actually booked this part of the trip was so instead of just going directly from Singapore to LA, which is a 17-hour flight, help us. I thought, all right, we'll do Tokyo, which is 6 hours from Singapore. It gives us a little bit of a break there for an hour and a half, something like that, and then on to LA for another 10 hours. But throughout the remainder of the last hour or so of the Tokyo flight, they were kind of talking on the flight as though anyone who was continuing on would be staying on the flight. It's basically what it sounded like. So we're thinking, oh, shit, they're going to leave us on the flight,
on the
plane, chilling, waiting for an hour and a half, which we just wanted to get off and
go
stretch our legs.
And because of my ankle as well, because I just injured my ankle, my ankle was huge.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was thick. Like it was thick. I wanted to get up. I wanted to move.
Yeah.
I wish I kept that photo of how thick it was compared to my ankle. Like,
oh, you didn't keep it?
They weren't even like sisters. They were like extremely distant cousins.
I know the feeling all too well, unfortunately. My ankles have been like that for a long time, and I finally get to see how you like it.
Shut up. But in saying that, what happened when we got to Tokyo, Erin's like, can't find my iPad.
Hold up. Calm down. Well, yeah, all right. So they did allow us off the flight, which was great. No, it had nothing to do with Tokyo.
You realised in Tokyo?
Flight. No. Couldn't have. No, it was the same flight.
You-
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to cut that bit out. So, yeah. Okay. So we got off at Singapore.
Perth to Singapore, we got off.
Yeah. Got a
You
new
got a
flight.
notification on your phone, on your
Oh,
watch,
yeah.
saying iPad left behind, and you were like, it's in the luggage. So you pushed ignore, and then we got on the flight to Tokyo, and you're like, where's my iPad?
Yeah.
And it's in the seat.
Yeah. So what Em's getting at is we were sitting there waiting to get on our flight from Singapore to Tokyo. My watch buzzed and said, iPad left behind. And I thought, well, it's just in my bag. Like, I have my bag with me, whatever. So I just pressed ignore and should have listened. Not that it would have made a difference anyway at the point. I think it would have been ugly. But what my watch was telling me was I actually left it on the Singapore flight, for the Perth to Singapore flight, in the seat pocket. Idiot. So, yeah, there goes the first thing that went wrong because we didn't have travel insurance. I left my iPad on the flight. I checked the seat pockets. I don't know how I left it. I have no idea.
When we got to America, you pinged it on Find My iPhone, and it was in Singapore.
Yeah.
It was still in Singapore airport.
Yeah, so once I realised that my iPad was missing, and I realised I could Find My iPhone, and I looked and it said, yeah, it's in the Singapore Terminal 3 where the lost and found was. So I was like, all right, that's gone, unfortunately. I'll log a report. Straight away I did. Or missing
Well, I'm never
item
going to get
report.
that back.
Oh, well, I logged the missing item report and thought, it should be fine. But I never heard anything about it. So we'll come back to that. But there you go. So first thing went wrong, left the iPad on the flight. Not even for the long part
Oh,
of it.
no, but you realised with the iPad you also left your asthma puffer. Because halfway through that flight you were like, oh, I really need my asthma puffer. And we're like, shit.
Yeah.
And I told you to buy 3 of them. I said, buy 3. I bought you one, you had 2 to buy.
Yeah.
And you didn't go and buy any. Emma bought one. And then, you left it on the plane.
Yeah. Well, I've already copped all this, so I don't know why I'm copying it again.
Just telling you again. Because I've just remembered. Anyway, so he lost his asthma puffer.
I lost my asthma puffer.
Your
I lost
Ventolin.
my Ventolin. Thinking the Ventolin would be fine because I can just get them when I get to America.
Because you don't need scripts here anymore.
You don't need scripts in Australia anymore for them, so you used to need them, but you don't anymore. Haven't needed them for over a year, probably a year and a half. So I didn't think anything of it when we went there. But yeah, losing the iPad sucked. And then if you're an asthmatic, you would know that if you don't have one with you, that's when you kind of start to panic, and that's when your asthma can get really bad. So I did struggle a little bit on the flight over the second leg, pretty much because I was just thinking about it, and it made things a lot worse. And then the air in America isn't exactly the best. But our stop in Tokyo was about an hour and a half.
I don't remember much about Tokyo. We didn't really do anything.
No, we pretty much just got off, went to the toilets. So we can talk about the toilets a little bit. The Tokyo toilets. This is like, to have this discussion about the Tokyo airport toilets is amazing. Went in, it's huge. Like, this room is just a massive open room of all these stalls around the edges, the whole circle of these toilets. Walk in, open the door, and it just looks like futuristic shit's going on in here. And it's...
Do you know the funniest thing is I remember you walking in there and every time we go to the toilet, we're like, we'll meet you out the front, and Aaron's like, gonna use the bidet. Gonna do it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Gonna use the bidet. Walks out, didn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I was too scared to press the button. Honestly, like, they have this touch panel on the
Yeah, it's like
side
on the
here,
wall. Yeah.
and I was just like, there's so many options on there. Like,
There was one you could push, I don't know if it was the same in the males and the females, you push this little like music icon and it would start playing music. So obviously
privacy.
like
It said
a
privacy.
privacy thing. So people couldn't hear you using the toilet. Yeah.
you press the privacy button, so it plays music, so you don't hear the plop plop on the outside of the door. It's
Yes.
the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
There were so many other buttons. I was too scared to push any of them.
Yeah, there's a ton of buttons.
Didn't want to
I didn't want to touch
self-destruct
them.
or something.
It had the bidet button, and I just was too scared to push it, even though it probably would have helped at the time. So I didn't actually use any of the functions, but the toilet was just freaky. And it was the last time we got to see a normal toilet until we got back to Australia. So, again, we'll get to
All
that.
of their toilets too, you stand up and it automatically flushes. Like, there's no pushing buttons. You do not push a button. Not even in America.
Yeah.
You get up, flushes for you,
Yeah.
or automatic.
Yeah. Which is kind of annoying when you're a male and you just move your out of the way.
You move your what out of the way?
Your twig and giggleberries. You just move them out of the way, and for some reason it thinks you're standing up, and it starts flushing, and the water level is so high that you kind of, it gets you, and it's just like, oh God. Yeah, it's not great. Your dog bag.
We need to move on from the toilets. Moving on from the toilets.
Moving on from the toilets. We haven't gone to Australia, to America
We haven't
yet.
even gone to America yet.
So I think we went and got food, I think. Did we?
I don't remember.
I think
Probably
we
got a hot
wanted-
chocolate or something.
We wanted to get Macca's, but it was scary. We didn't know how to pay for things.
No.
We didn't know how to even order stuff.
I think we just got a hot chocolate or something.
I don't even know.
I don't even think we did that. I don't think we did any.
No. So we wanted to just stretch our legs, go to the toilet, and get a drink, but I don't think we did get a drink.
No.
Just got back on the flight. That hour and a half was super quick because obviously you start boarding 45 minutes before your flight, so it really turned into 45, well, less than.
Not much
Probably
time.
35 minutes by the time I got off the flight and back on again. Back on our way to America, which was great. How was customs this time? I don't remember, because I remember last time there being...
Oh, it was easy.
Like
it was
last
quick.
time it was so long.
Took us like 2 hours last time.
2 or 3 hours.
No, it was quick.
Yeah.
It was super quick. We got there and we wanted to go to the toilet and everything, and we were like, nah, that line's not long at all. You were like, let's go now.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk it because I thought, if more planes start arriving...
It took us 2 hours last time. It
Yeah.
was slow and it took forever.
Yeah, if more planes start arriving, there's going to be too many people in line and we'll just want to get in and out. So
I think we were in and out with maybe 20 minutes.
yeah,
half
it
hour
might have been-
maybe.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit longer.
Did
but
not
it was
take that long at all.
definitely not too long.
No.
Even the customs guy, when we walked up, he was asking everybody else a ton of questions. I think Arcee just...
He asked us for our V's. Oh, he asked us for our itinerary. Last time we printed our itinerary off. This time we didn't.
That's right. I didn't print anything off this time.
And we
at
were
all.
like, oh,
I was
shit.
just like,
He
I know where
basically,
I'm staying.
he just basically wanted to see our return flight plan
Yeah,
to prove that we were
I had to
returning.
show him the email that we were returning home.
Yeah, to
I
returning
did
to
do
Australia. That was about it.
Yeah.
He was nice.
Yeah.
He was fine.
And that was it. So
Yeah.
it was check our email real fast, and we're gone within a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Which is pretty quick.
Good decision.
Normally
yeah.
take much longer. And off we went. They've changed the airport massively in Los Angeles. It used to be we'd walk out the stairs up to the second level and get an Uber. So you could get Wi-Fi as long as you stood close enough to the doors. Get Wi-Fi, get an Uber, and off you went. They've changed it, however. So this time when we went,
Oh, God, what a struggle it was.
we didn't know where the hell to go.
No, we didn't have a SIM card either. We couldn't find a SIM card anywhere. And to
We
get
found one, but
It was like $100 and something odd
extremely
dollars, wasn't it?
expensive, Yeah, wasn't doing that.
So, and we had to find a way. We basically had to find a way to get an Uber to pick up our hire car, which was our Mustang convertible.
Yeah.
But we couldn't. So I can't even remember how we did it. We took a taxi. We took a taxi.
We took a taxi because we did.
I
there
think
was no
we
way
were
could
walking
do it.
around the airport with our bags, up, down, back, forward, left, right, trying to follow these stupid maps on the wall for
Yeah.
about at least an hour.
Yeah, and then I think we asked somebody. We just said,
Yeah.
well, how do we get a taxi or get out of here?"
Yeah, and then we got a taxi.
So to catch that bus to the lot. We found the lot, so it takes you off site pretty much.
It takes
to a
you
lot of
completely-
taxis and Ubers and
Yeah.
Lyfts and all that, and you find which one you want to go to.
Yeah.
And we said, screw this, we can't do an Uber because we have no.
We had no we had no Wi-Fi and we had no SIM card.
Yeah, so no data, no nothing, which is
Nothing.
not fun in a foreign country. But
Yeah.
thankfully, we've been there before, so it was not scary.
We
So-
just needed to get to the hire car.
Yeah, which was fine because we had the address for it, because we had used the Turo app, which is fantastic. Use the Turo app if you go overseas. Rather than hiring cars, do that because you hire real cars. And you can get some beauties for some great pricing. So, we got the taxi directly to the car, got the car, still no maps. So we then had to figure out how we're going to get
We just started driving
Yeah, we did.
and hoping for the best.
We're like, well, we kind of know where Anaheim is. We're staying in Anaheim. We kind of know where that is. If we see
We saw Knott's Berry Farm and we were like, right, well, we're in the right direction.
Yeah, well, no, because we drove to a servo, just try to ask them for a SIM card.
helped.
And said, do you guys have a SIM card? No, we don't. God damn it, this is not going well. Where's Anaheim? And they said, just take your next right and that takes you all the way to Anaheim.
Yeah,
Just
they
follow
did
that
help.
all the way. So that was about half an hour drive. That was great. Thanks for that, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your help.
And then we found a tech store as well.
Well, we could see as we were driving up the freeway, which is absolutely nuts, by the way.
6-lane freeway.
I don't recommend it at all. I think it's a 7-lane freeway, but yeah, often jumps in and out.
There's a carpool lane.
You come out off the freeway, off the ramp onto the freeway, and you go over 4 lanes just so you're like out of the way of all these other cars, and you think, all right, I'm good here. Next thing you know, about three off ramps later, you're on the very edge. Like, how did this just happen? I'm 4 hours over, so I could avoid all that. And you're all the way over, so you're kind of in the exit lane for the next one. You have to get yourself back over again.
Terrifying.
And everyone drives crazy over there so fast. They don't care about what's going on what anyone's doing. They're just, it's all for yourself. Just start going, and people will just kind of just go with it. It's nuts. It's scary as hell. The speed limits don't exist. They do, technically. But no one does it.
No, not at all.
If you're actually doing the speed limit, you're going too slow.
Yeah, you're being a dick.
We did find that many times.
Oh. Well, again, luckily we'd already driven over there once before, so we kind of knew what we were doing. But, oh my God, like, it's just insane.
Yeah, so we drove all the way to Anaheim, and then we saw Knott's Berry Farm, because Knott's Berry Farm is like a roller coaster.
Well, we were trying to find the freaking hotel, and the hotel we got everywhere has a big sign, like a huge sign
6.
with a 6. And Aaron's
Motel
like,
6.
look for a 6, look for a 6. And we're going up and down and up and down and up. And where's this freaking hotel? Knott's Berry Farm's there. That's where our hotel's supposed to be. Where the freaking hell is it? And
the funny thing about these hotels is they tell you, like when you book it, it says,
look for the big 6.
Motel 6, Knott's Berry Farm. And it says right out the front or doorstep of Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, what a crock.
That's a load of bullshit.
What a crock. It was like 7 streets away.
It's probably about 3 or 4 days away.
We finally ended up finding a place, like a tech place, and we got a SIM card.
We went to AT&T.
Which was cheaper than the SIM card the bloody airport was trying to sell us.
Yeah, I basically had to sign up for a $50 monthly plan, which I technically still have.
Oh, shit, we haven't cancelled it.
So.
Fuck.
But I use the prepaid visas. It's not like anything would be coming out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Anyway, and so then we typed in, we're like, fucking hell, finally, maps typed it in, and it's like, we were nowhere near where we were supposed to be.
Not really,
No. There was a 6. It was about this fucking
No. So...
Oh, no, sorry.
Once we found it, we're like, all right, there it is. I didn't know how we were supposed to see a 6. But then I think it was a few days later when we were driving down the freeway on the other side.
It's on the other side of the motel.
Freeway side.
On the freeway.
So now we're ever supposed to see that damn
my
6. You have to be
fucking
coming
Lord.
up the freeway, but I don't know. You would be coming from way down south.
At this point in time, you and I were like, just need a nap.
Yeah, we're knackered. We're actually just super tired and just want to relax for a bit.
I'm pretty sure we actually got in the hotel room, turned the TV on, slept. I think we had a nap.
Did we? Because
we went and got some food. We went and got burgers.
Yes.
Because there was burgers down the road. And then sat in bed and had a nap. We did nothing that day.
Yeah, right.
We did nothing.
Which is surprising because we actually worked it out perfectly this time. So last time we went, I don't know if I've told the story before, but last time we went, I was all right. Slept a little bit on the plane. Em didn't really sleep much. It's difficult sleeping on planes. Anyone's tried to fly and sleep. It's not easy.
We were in the middle seat, so we were in the middle 3, and so normally if we can get the window seat, we will, because you'll be at the window. You can lean against the window, and then I'll lean on you. Because we're in the middle, and I'm not trying to be mean, but because you're too big to be in the middle, because if you then have someone bigger next to you, you've got no room. So then I get put in the middle. I'm sandwiched between you and this person, but I have a pillow, you don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And also, I can't lean too far to the left.
Because they keep knocking you.
Because they come through with that goddamn drinks trolley.
I'll tell you what, though.
And bam! Oh, it hurts.
I'll tell you what. Actually, I don't know whether we slept. I don't actually know what we did the first day. I know we got burgers and stuff. I don't think we did.
I don't know. I swear we would have done something.
I think we just did Walmart
because
and
we
stuff.
did it well. Yes, we did. We did it well. So because I took
I know
some
what
sleep.
we did.
Hang on. I'll get there. We'll get there. We took some sleeping tablets with us. So
I
I
was
did
just about
go
to get
to the
there.
chemist before we left and said, look, we are flying. We need some help as far as like being prepared for when we get to America. Because you don't know what happened last time, which was as soon as we arrived, you were asleep in that taxi immediately.
I'll tell you what. Those fucking sleeping tablets were the best thing
Best thing I've ever
of
done.
my life, honestly.
So I worked it out that if we just fly and watch some movies for the first so many hours, because it was a 21-hour flight in total, or 22-hour flight in total. If we watched a few movies, then take the sleeping tablet. I took the sleeping tablet, had a good 8 to 10 hour sleep, which we did, which is amazing. That when we woke up, we'd be basically waking up at the start of the American morning. So it was about 9 a.m. would be awake.
Those tablets were so good. You gave me one. I think you gave me a full one. And you went up to go to the toilet. And I'm like, oh, okay. And obviously we put the handle up so we don't have the chair handle in between us because it's uncomfortable. So I laid across your seat, my seat. And you came back, I was dead asleep. And I just remember you being like, can you move? Like, can I please sit back down?
I was trying for a while to wake you up.
Yeah, and then I finally woke up, and then as soon as you sat down, I fell asleep on you again, and then you're like, food's ready. What did I look like?
That video, if we find that video, it's up right
Oh, the
now.
dog.
The dog. Yeah.
Yes.
So if we
That
find
was
video-
exactly me getting up when Aaron was like, food's ready. I was just like... And I ate my food. It's gone again.
Yeah.
Gone again.
I don't think you finished it all because you gave it to me. And
I slept. I was so tired. I had a really good sleep.
Yeah, it
really
was
good
great.
sleep.
And I was in and out. And then eventually I slept for about 8 hours as well. We woke up and had probably about 7 or 8 hours awake. We got to America and we were fresh.
Yes. So I remember what we did.
Yes.
Back to the future place.
Yes. So,
It was pissing down with rain.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. So, typically in America...
You know this podcast is going to go forever. It's 45 minutes already and we've only just gotten to LA. We need to cut it down a bit.
yeah, all right. We're in America now, so first day. We got there and went and got some burgers at Habit Bar and Grill, I believe. Or did we go to Chipotle first? No, Chipotle
No.
was closed.
Chipotle was closed, yeah.
So we went to Habit Bar and Grill, which was really good food, really nice and decently healthy. And then it's first night there. What do we do? We're in Anaheim. We're a bit far away to go to LA. So what do we do? So what do you do when you go to America? Find a Walmart.
Yeah, we just went straight to Walmart.
But
Biggest mistake of our life.
Because
As soon as I walked in, I was just like, I want that and I want that. It was just Baby Yoda shit everywhere. And
Yeah. So we wanted to find a Walmart, but we also wanted to go to the Twin Pine Malls. So if anyone's ever watched Back to the Future, the very first one, almost the very start of the movie, where Marty skateboards up to a mall where Doc is waiting for him with the time machine, there's Twin Pine Malls. So it's actually called Puente Hills Mall, I believe, in America.
But you can pinpoint the exact location of where the...
Yeah, you can pinpoint the exact location where Doc had the DeLorean parked.
Yeah.
The exact parking spot. So we went and had a Mustang convertible, as I mentioned earlier. Went and parked in that exact spot, and I went up on the hill where Marty skateboarded in, which unfortunately they have changed a bit now, which is pissed a lot of people. Back
They
to the Future
built
fans off.
something there.
They basically built a ramp there. Well, they built like a shop. I think it's a Chipotle actually, right there. And then they built like a ramp so you can't go down exactly where he went anymore, which is a little bit sad. But other than that, the whole shopping center, the whole area looked exactly as it did 37 years ago, which is crazy.
Weren't you standing at the top? I stayed at the bottom because I wasn't walking up because it was raining, and I could just hear you screaming, being like, is it the Libyans?
Yeah, the Libyans are coming.
The Libyans are coming.
What the hell? But they found us. Run, Marty! Yeah, I had a great time with that. Videoed it a little bit. Yeah, and so that was pretty quick because it was raining. It was a bit shit. But
Yeah, it was
really
bad.
cool to be there at night time as well. Like they were recommended highly. It was great. It was an empty car park as well, which is really cool because we were able to go park in the exact spot. It's fantastic. And yeah, from there we went to Walmart, which, as Em said, is a must because they have some seriously cool shit, and every Walmart's different. So Em went to one, picked up a whole bunch of Baby Yoda stuff, went to another, picked a whole bunch of more Baby Yoda stuff.
Erin's like, you need to calm down. We've only been here a day.
I was telling her that when we went to Disneyland the first day that she needed to calm down, but our first night in bloody Walmart was expensive.
I was well behaved.
Yes, you were. We went back bought stuff later on that you wanted to. Yeah, that was the end of our first night, and then from there we went to Disneyland the next day. So that was Em in a nutshell. It was raining.
We don't need to go into too much about Disneyland. We did a lot. We basically planned, because Disneyland is now open till midnight, we basically planned that we would go there, bang on opening, do half a day, go do some other things because we can go back in with the same pass on the same day, and then go back, watch the fireworks, do a few more rides. We were there from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m.
Yeah.
We did not leave.
It was a long day.
We did not leave.
I think it was about 4 p.m. when you looked at me, you're like, oh, how are you feeling? Do you want to go home? Or are you all right? And I was like, no, I'm actually sweet. I'm good.
And there was no way in hell, like, I don't know. I enjoyed Disneyland last time, but I think even you noticed I enjoyed Disneyland far more this time.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of that had to do with Galaxy's Edge. So Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which actually opened this time instead of being built like it was last time, because that was amazeballs.
But in saying that as well, last time we went, the castle was under construction, and the castle was open this time, and I could walk through it. Like, as soon as I saw that castle, I was like a pig in mud.
Last time we went, the castle was a cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
It was
weird.
covered. It was under construction.
So, yeah, first thing you saw was a castle, which was awesome. And then Galaxy's Edge was just amazing. Last time we went, it was under construction. You could actually see some of the rocks, the rock formation, which you could just tell what it was being built. Well, like, this is so awful because it was like a month before it opened. And this time we actually got to go there, and incredible. So you walk in and it's just immediately everything is Star Wars, exactly as you'd think it would be on TV. Amazing fun.
The chick that sold us the Coke,
Yeah.
she was amazing.
Yeah.
She was so good. Some of them, it's funny, isn't it? Some of the staff there go above and beyond. They all go above and beyond, but some of them are really good.
Yeah.
So we're in Galaxy's Edge. We bought a Coke from like a cart.
Yeah, so it was a vendor, but it was clearly like a a Star Wars themed vendor.
And obviously, as soon as we approached, she was like, what brings you travellers here? Like, she really sold it to us. And then she obviously saw I had the Mandalorian shirt on and the Baby Yoda ears, and she's like, oh, have you seen, what did she call him? She didn't call him Mando.
Hunter.
Have you seen the Bounty Hunter? And I said, no. I knew I went there for one thing, and it was to find Mando, and it was to find Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And she did it. If anything, actually, she kind of saved us, because we probably would have left after that and gone back a bit later.
We didn't know how often
there wasn't time.
Whatever. You said, I don't know if he'll even come out today.
Well, it was raining, yeah.
So we were a bit worried about that you wouldn't get a chance to meet Mando, because that's the one thing she really wanted to do, was meet Baby Yoda. But yeah, she gave you the hint that
she
he was
basically
out
said,
at the
have you
time.
seen the Bounty Hunter? And I said, no, not yet. And she was like, I'm just letting you know he's around.
No, well, she stayed
said,
in character and said, yeah, have you seen the Bounty Hunter? And you said, no. And she said, well, keep an eye out because he's around.
Because he's around, yeah. And I was like, right. As soon as you said that, I went, we ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. But not just a Coke, right? It wasn't just a Coke that she sold us. It was a Coke in a thermal detonator. Like, how cool is that?
Well, then, like, went afterwards, because you were like, I'm going to keep this. And then, one of the staff approached you and he was like, don't drop that.
No, yeah. So this dude come running out at me from the bushes. I was like, what the hell? Because he was just like, put it down. I was like, hey, I don't know what he was talking about. And then you said,
he was staff.
You're talking about your detonator. I was like, oh shit, yeah. And I was just like, oh, and he's like, oh no, put it down. Hilarious. So yeah, they put on a good show.
Well, I don't remember much more of. I don't exactly remember the whole thing, but I remember we saw Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett was
That's
around.
the first one we saw.
And then when we were sort of walking around, there was a group of people, and you were just like, Emma, Mando's right there.
Follow the group.
And I'd already done my research, basically. So Mando will interact with more people that are dressed up or have Baby Yoda or Mandalorian stuff on. Like, he'll really interact with them more because he understands, obviously, they're the people that... Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, obviously, I had my Mando shirt on. I had Baby Yoda ears on. I had little Baby Yoda sitting on my shirt. And every time I tried to get in front of him or tried to walk up to him to meet him, some fucking little kid cut me off. And I was like...
Fucking little kids at Disneyland. How dare you?
So I was like, right, which way is he walking? He was walking in a certain direction, so I went round that way and I stood there and I'm like, he's going to acknowledge me. He's got to acknowledge me. Head of the table.
That's a shout out to a few episodes back.
He's going to acknowledge me. And sure enough, he sort of like almost, it was almost like something out of like, you know, like Moses or something, wasn't it? Like parting the sea.
The sea's parted, yeah.
Yeah, he literally sort of like saw me, stood there and looked at me and then walked straight to me, walked past everyone. There was rows of people and he just walked straight past them and he just walked straight up to me.
Yeah.
And I fucking lost my shit. I couldn't say anything. I didn't know what to say.
I think Grogu likes it. That's excellent. Safe journey to you.
That's really cool. He's really cool.
Yeah, that was the exact reaction she had to. We'll put the video on right now so you can see Em's reaction and how good a moment it actually was. So he did speak to her as well.
He spoke to me. Baby Yoda spoke to me.
No, it wasn't the fact that Baby Yoda spoke to you. So when Mando said that he thinks he likes you and he just looked up
He
at
looked
you.
up at me. Stop, moving on. Okay.
Em was in heaven from
That's
there.
it. You're all going to think I'm weirdos, but...
Yeah. No, great time. And that was Em's...
That was the
Em's
one
year,
thing I
mate.
said when we went to Disneyland. I said, I don't care what happens. I need to meet Mando and I need to meet Baby Yoda. And it happened. And that was it. From there onwards, couldn't wipe a smile off my face. Couldn't.
Yeah.
I was already in my glory.
Yeah,
but
she was in heaven. We did stay for the rest of the day and we watched the fireworks, which was really good.
fireworks went on.
Oh, well,
The show was on.
So we watched the show, which is supposed to have fireworks, but it does have a lot of light
It's too
shows
windy.
and stuff like that on the castle as well as all over the walls as well, which is cool.
I feel like last time, though, we watched the fireworks show and the fireworks really do distract you from the rest of the show because the entire castle is a like a projection.
Yeah.
And then you have projections on the walls. So you're so busy paying attention to the fireworks, you don't notice that. But because we didn't have the fireworks,
You didn't pay attention to the
we really
story
paid
that was
attention to
going
them,
on.
yeah.
See, that was really cool. And they didn't have them on the walls last time, so that was different.
And I was doing okay until Bambi popped up, and then that was it. I was gone.
Yeah.
I think the whole day just got to me.
Yeah, it was a good day. And you didn't spend too much money first day.
I didn't really buy anything.
No,
I
we
bought
didn't
my
spend
I
much.
bought my ears, and I bought the little Baby Yoda.
Yeah, you bought something else as well, but wasn't much. We played it calm and cool because...
Oh, my 50 anniversary.
Oh, yes.
ears.
First thing you bought was ears, yeah. And then from there, next day we went to California Adventures, which was a complete write-off.
Absolute shit show.
Yeah, it sucks. Which isn't like the park doesn't suck at all.
No.
It's not bad. It's pretty fun. They've actually made it a little bit bigger since we last went. There's some pretty cool stuff there. Unfortunately, it was it's gone really bright. Okay, I'm good now. It was a write-off because the entire day pissed down.
It's not like sprinkle. It hammered down.
We got there a bit later because we wanted a bit of a rest. But
Yeah.
we got there probably about 11.
You had a spray jacket on. You had your Docker spray jacket on, and I had a jumper. And we got there. It was okay. It wasn't raining. And we were
Yeah.
like, oh, it's going to be a good day. You took a couple of photos of me in Radiator Springs. We went and
bought
got...
tickets.
He bought tickets to my favourite ride, which is the Cars ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went and got some food because we were hungry because it was lunchtime by the time we got there. And then as we walked out, it pissed down. It didn't stop. And from there onwards, it was like ride shut down, ride shut down, ride shut down. By the end of it, there was 2 rides open.
Yeah. Sucks because those tickets cost like $40 US.
Yeah.
Which is like 70 Australian dollars. And then didn't get to use them, which that sucked.
We stood in the line a little bit for the Ferris wheel, which is where we took the video. And in the end, I was getting so soaked. I was saturated.
Yeah.
And I just went, fuck this, let's go do something else. We were wasting our day.
Yeah, I actually never thought that I would hear like that come out of your mouth, that you are just like, you had to say it to me many times, because I was like, no way she actually wants to leave. This was something you've been waiting for so long to come back here, and then you're like, nah, let's go. I was like, but it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's still so much left. You're like, nah, this day is a write-off, let's just go do something else. We went on the Little Mermaid ride before we left, which was a lot of fun.
And it got shut down while we were on it.
So that kind of sewed it up for us. So we went on the Little Mermaid ride to see if we can get out of the rain and if it would calm down at all. And then as we got on and started to enjoy the song, we stopped. And we listened to that song
we stopped.
over and over.
I can give you the video too. We stopped. You're in these little clamshells, and it just goes through a scene. It's just the scenes of Little Mermaid and that, and we got stuck in the under the sea. So constantly, every 5 seconds, it was like, under the sea. Fuck. And under the sea. And so there's a video of us, and we're like, we're fucking stuck under the sea.
Well,
Don't you understand, Harry?
it's very loud.
We
are stuck under the sea.
Someone else's lagoon.
I don't know what's going on.
Is your home.
We came on this ride to get out of the rain. We're now stuck on the ride.
We
Still
are.
good music.
We're stuck under the sea. Ev's lost her mind. The weather turned very bad on us very quickly.
Attention undersea
Now we're
voyagers,
stuck.
we encountered a slight delay. Please remain seated with your hands, feet, flippers, and fins inside your clamshell.
So we'll stay under
your
the
voyage
sea.
will resume in just a moment. Thank you.
The rain has ruined the inside as well.
Stay under the sea. No, that's not getting wet.
We were stuck there for about 25 minutes in
Yeah,
this ride.
listening to
it's
Under the
quite
Sea.
a long time. Thinking, all right, we've actually been here for a long time. That was okay. We didn't go mad in there.
Got out.
Let's see what it's like now. Maybe where
Worse.
it's okay. It was far worse than
It was
when we
so worse. So we ended up leaving, and it was so bad that I've got the video footage of how flooded the roads were.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually when we started going. Well, as we were stopped at the lights, I think we must have been turning right or going straight maybe.
We were heading up. Our hotel was literally right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were sitting there waiting to go at the lights, and there was this guy next to us in a pickup truck. He stopped at the lights, even though he could turn left. And he was hanging out of his car with his phone because he was filming the whole thing as he was driving.
It was like a
through
swimming pool.
It was huge.
We got through it. We went through it with the Mustang convertible, and we were like, shit.
Yeah, we
shit.
went through pretty
We are
slowly.
not going to make this.
We were pretty low, so it was pretty scary.
It rained for about 3 days straight.
Yeah, it was not great.
Because the next day after that, you put the convertible down.
Yeah,
and
we got the convertible down.
Got the convertible down.
For about 20 minutes. That was
the only time we got the convertible down. I think we went and did all the Friday.
No. That day we went to Universal Studios.
Yes.
Universal Studios was cool, but yeah, it was raining
Rained
the entire
again.
day on and off. But not enough to ruin the day.
No.
Like, it was just on and off all day. And the only time it did get actually quite heavy, we went on the studio tour. So the studio tour goes for about an hour and a half, and you're underneath cover as you go through on a on a trolley, take you through, and that's cool.
We did the Jurassic Park ride like you wanted.
But how good was that? Like, we got to the
Such a
Jurassic
good
World ride thinking this is going to take forever, but the wait was about 20 minutes, and it didn't go any longer than that really all day. But we only went on it once. I'm surprised we didn't go on it again. But it was a great ride. It was good fun. It's pretty short. That's the only thing I say about it. It's a little bit too short, but it's good fun. Exactly as I remember as it being in Orlando when I went there. What else? We
went on the Mummy ride.
Which was good fun. Didn't go on the Transformers ride because the wait was too long.
Oh, we did that last time.
Springfield was open this time.
Yep.
So Simpsons Land.
Oh, we went and had a look at the new Mario World.
Yeah, Super Mario
Shite.
World. Yeah, it's crap.
Absolute-
So Super Nintendo World it's called.
That's it.
It's crap.
Shit.
It was boring.
It was absolute shit. We walked in, was like, walked out. The ride was apparently
3 hours.
3 hour wait, and there was a huge wait limit. So people apparently slightly bigger than me weren't even getting on.
Yeah, you have to be
and they were
quite
too
small to get
tall.
on it,
They were
yeah.
too tall, yeah. So people were getting turned down left, right, and centre. You could play games, but the lines for the games were... No one explained the games to you, so we didn't understand what we're doing. We walked in, we walked out.
Yeah, I had a look. You could literally stand at the entrance and just look around, and you'd see everything. So
And go,
you had
yeah,
to
cool,
walk
move
around
on.
it all.
I didn't think it was that good at all.
No. So we were very quickly in and out of there, which is great because a lot of people wait in lines to go in.
Everyone
there.
wanted that,
I'm
yeah.
so glad we didn't have to do that because it would have been such a waste of time. All we wanted to do is go in, have a look at it, and just say we'd seen it and move on.
Yeah.
Because we did.
I don't think it was that
The
good.
only issue I have really with Universal Studios is there's an up lot and there's a down lot. And to go to the down lot, it takes you ages. Like you've got to go down
It's like-
3 massive
It's like
escalators.
10 minutes of escalators.
At least.
Yeah.
Like, it's so long and it's so far. And it's actually kind of, I don't know, make you feel kind of a little sick when you're coming down there. And then going up, you're looking up so steep that it just makes you feel ill.
And you don't want to walk up. Like, you can't start walking up them because your friggin' legs would kill you.
Yeah, so that's the only gripe I really have with Universal Studios. But
Yeah.
it's good fun. I enjoy going there. They still got the Rapids ride, which they closed in Dreamland. In
There was no way in hell you were getting me
Queensland.
on that.
We considered it for a very brief second, but to be honest, I probably would have shit myself as soon as I got on it. So.
And we were also soaking wet. I didn't want to get any more
Yeah, it was
wet.
already cold, wet.
was-
People were friggin' soaking you.
There
as
was
well.
literally, I took a photo for a lady, these two ladies, and they had shower caps on.
Yeah.
She's like, why'd you offer to take the photo? I said, because I love the fact you got shower caps on.
Standing in front of a giant grizzly bear. Yeah. Universal's great fun, but it's not like Disney or anything like that.
Nah, it's nothing.
It's pretty different. But it's all right. It's good to go to. The Waterworld show was quite good. We didn't see that last time. We got to see it this time. We got to meet the characters, which were a bunch of characters from different movies. They were nice enough. Had a chat to us afterwards as well. Which was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. Then we kind of went and did other things from there onwards.
Yeah, so...
We spent a lot of time at Walmart.
Yeah.
Nearly every second night we went to a Walmart.
Well, I can't remember what we did.
I think we went to
Chipotle.
we went to Chipotle that night. Because the next day we went to Sacramento.
No, you're way ahead. You're way ahead. So
Well,
this
we
is,
need to-
This is Wednesday.
An hour.
We need to move along. Yeah.
An hour. We need to move along. We haven't even got.
The next day we didn't do anything. So the next day was Thursday. We were supposed to go to Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, we
But
decided
we're
against
knackered.
that.
Absolutely pooped.
We also,
So decided
it was
not
all
to.
roller coasters, and it was raining.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to get on a roller coaster when it's raining.
Yeah. So we decided against that. We went somewhere else instead. I think we just went into Hollywood. Nah, I actually didn't remember what we did. We decided against that and we decided to do something else. I think we went shopping. We just went driving to see what we could do. I can't remember. Yeah, we didn't go up to much that Thursday. We did go to the Laugh Factory, but no, that was when we came back, so we'll go back to that. Friday was the day that we went to Sacramento. So up very early.
It's going to take us forever to get through this fucking holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting there. Up very early, off to the airport, and flew off to Sacramento. Pretty easy flight. It was an hour flight. We got there, and we were supposed to have a driver meet us with a car. Never showed up.
Never replied to us.
Never
Took our
replied,
money.
Pissed me off, took my money. And the worst part was we had no reception there at all. So I couldn't contact anyone, couldn't contact them, or every time I tried to call, they tried to call me back, and it just wouldn't work. I had to go halfway down the street just to get some reception. Then I had to keep going back to Em because she was sitting in the airport by herself trying to figure out what was going on. About 3 hours later, so we were in that airport for about 3 hours just trying to figure something out. We were going to just get a taxi, but because we had a lot of other things planned, we needed a car desperately. So somebody on that Turo app was, like I said, that Turo app's great, was fantastic, and she came, drove a car out to us, picked us up, dropped us off where we needed to go, and left us with the car. So it ended up all right. We ended up with Toyota Camry, so nothing too exciting. But from there, we drove into Sacramento, went to another Walmart, went to a chemist, and this is where I figured out that it wasn't going to be easy. So I went to a chemist asking if I could get an asthma puffer, and they said, no, you need a script. And I was like, oh, shit, I'm in trouble here. because I wasn't feeling too good at this point. I was starting to feel a bit average. And then that night we went to Sacramento Kings. So the first game we got to go and see was Sacramento Kings versus the Phoenix Suns, with some really good seats for that. And it was a fantastic game. Amazing game. I think we were down by 15 at one point. Was looking a bit average. And at this point, we'd seen Kings play twice already, and both times they lost. So we were thinking, this is the third loss in a row that we'll watch Kings play. That's a bit of horseshit. But they came back and won the game, and it was amazing. Kevin Durant didn't play that game, unfortunately. It would have been cool to see him play, but we probably wouldn't have won if we didn't. So, if he did, so it was great, fantastic to watch him win and light the beam. Light the beam was probably the greatest thing I've ever seen. Just the excitement that people have over just this one weird, like, simple thing where they just push a purple button and outside the stadium, big beam gets lit in the sky.
We were probably out there for about an hour and a half to 2 hours just taking photos, people taking photos for us helping other people take photos, because like a couple would help us take a photo, then we'd reciprocate it, and
Well, legitimately, an AFL club should adopt it. I keep saying Freo should do it.
It was wicked.
Because if you did it, like, just the joy on people's faces.
It was such a...
And how much fun they had with just this beam in the sky.
It was, I don't know, it was just a real...
It was a party atmosphere.
Yeah, and it was just such a good feeling.
I mean, last time we went there, we felt it as well. Where
but
it
was different. Like, it was just a good feeling. Like, it was just like, just even literally sitting on the floor looking up into the sky, this beam that goes freaking miles high. Like,
no, it's long.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And we could see it from our hotel too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But it's a different atmosphere. So once we won the game, you just see people sprint outside because they wanted to see it happen.
People chanting, light the beam.
Light the beam at like a couple minutes before the game was ending because they were all going to win. And it's such a cool thing just hearing that crowd chanting.
Wearing
I am wearing the Light the Beam jumper, which I got that night as well. So that's the beam there.
It's
people
incredible.
Chanting it is so cool. But then walking outside and just seeing everybody, you go outside an AFL game and everyone's just head
leaving.
down,
Everyone's just gone.
Streaming out the doors, get to the train as fast as possible because they want to be out of there. But like I said, we stood there for an hour and a half.
I think as well, like, we see it on TV, like, light the beam and the beam get lit, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And then once you actually exit the stadium and you turn around and you look up, you're like, oh shit, like, it's just different.
Yeah, it's super hard to explain.
Yeah.
And unless you're there, you just won't understand how much fun it actually was. You get wrapped up in it. Like, I bought the jumper, I bought a shirt, and bought a jumper. We just wanted to buy everything that was like the beam at that point. Took a ton of photos and just sat there for an hour and a half just enjoying the atmosphere.
Staring at the beam.
And just hoping it would happen again. Anyway, next morning, I kind of felt a little bit ill, so I can't remember what we had for dinner. But the next morning when we woke up at 5 a.m. Okay, so remember I said earlier that we were going to talk a little bit about football? This was the first opportunity to talk about football. Other than the fact that the Saints and Freo game was the very first game of the season, round one, I actually watched that on the plane from Perth to Singapore. And then it sucked because it was halftime by the time we got there, and then I had to pay again. That sucked for the Wi-Fi. I had to pay twice to get Wi-Fi to watch the rest of the game from Japan to LA. So I watched that game over the two halves over about 8-hour period. Damn, that sucked. Just start the trip off with a loss. But that was it. I didn't watch any other games, didn't see any other results either. Just got on with it. And then once we got to Sacramento, the second game, so round 2, was Freo versus North Melbourne. And that started at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. LA, Sacramento time was LA time. I tried to watch it. I stayed up. Normally I stay up till 3 a.m. every night, but because we'd be going so hard for those few days, and because we got up so early to go to Sacramento, I was just knackered. I'd actually fallen asleep before the game even started. So I didn't see a lick of that game at all. I woke up at 5 a.m. when we were getting ourselves ready to go on our next adventure, and just looked at the score and just couldn't believe it. We just lost to North Melbourne, like last year's worst team ever, and this year they're not great either. And I thought, well, this is not good. We're not going to be good at all this year. 0-2 and loss of North. This is going to be awful. So I didn't really have much interest in the footy at all at that point. From there, I said, screw it. It's all about the rest of our trip. Just going to enjoy it. But I was feeling rather ill. And I remember going to the toilet when I woke up. You hadn't woken up yet because I didn't wake you up. And I went to the toilet and I just said, I don't feel very good. And I threw up. And, and I just said to myself, I don't know if I could do this. I think I might just go back to bed and just rest for the day. I'm so glad that I didn't. I said, nah, we've got to do this. We're only here once. Let's just go. Because the plan was to go to Lake Tahoe that day.
We've been talking about Lake Tahoe for ages.
Yeah, we've been talking about it, looking at videos and things, but we didn't look into it so much to expect what we were actually going to see when we got there. Like I looked it up and it just looked like a beautiful place. And in summer, it looked like a really, really nice place to go and swim and enjoy some activities on the river and things. And that's kind of what I expected. I expected a nice scenery and maybe go for a little bit of a swim, even though they said
we knew it was cold.
Yeah.
We knew it was cold and we knew that it'd been snowing, but it hadn't been snowing in a couple of days.
Well, that's what we thought. So we didn't look it up at all. I didn't look up what the weather was.
So I took gloves and we took beanies and we knew it was going to be cold.
Yeah. So anyway, we started our journey. We were just expected to be freezing cold, and we got about halfway there. We're already on our elevation up because it's 30,000 feet or something by the time you get there. We started our elevation, went about 12,000 feet, and then we saw just a tiny itty bitty little patch of snow
on the side of the road, like this big, and Aaron does the death grip, like
yeah.
snow, like oh my god, like
I was like, pull over.
Let's pull over, and we're standing in it. We're like, okay, that's cool. Move on.
Well, we pulled over, and I'll show you the video. And this is what we were seeing. You could see the little bit of snow off in the background.
Yeah.
We thought, all right, if that's all we see, hey, we've got to see snow.
Is this the lake as well? That massive.
It's that bit on the side of the road.
Yeah,
that had
and
a really nice.
We
scenery.
pulled over. We're like, this is wicked. Like, okay, cool.
Which was scary because it's like 60 miles an hour, which is about 110 k's an hour on this single lane road, very windy. Potholes, bad.
They were
potholes,
huge.
super windy road, and there's a lot of traffic.
Well, when we actually stopped,
pushing.
when we stopped to look at this waterfall-y thing, you actually heard this person coming up the hill going toot 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 toot, and we were like, "What the fuck?" And this guy had to skid behind us to let this guy go because he wanted to go faster.
Yeah.
And Jesus,
Yeah,
like,
people are very pushy.
Very.
It was quite weird because it's not something we experienced, but until that point, the people. Were
It was
really
it was a
nice.
very high speed to be doing on windy roads, and when I say potholes huge, I'm talking this wide and about this deep. Like they were fucking huge. You hit a few, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like
Well, she was getting so angry at me. She's like, "Do you not see these
Avoid
damn
them,
potholes?" I was
like-
like, "There are so many. I can't avoid."
But they
every
were just
single
coming
one.
out of nowhere because then when I ended up driving home, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I was trying to avoid them, but they
Yeah,
just
she got it. It was
shut
hard.
up. But they were huge, and in the end, like even when we started driving a bit further, there was like cars on the side of the road, tires shredded. Like hazards on, tires shredded, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like one, we don't even know if this car's got a spare tire, and this isn't our car. So
It was scary. So we continued our journey, and then we started to see a little bit more snow, and then a little bit more snow, and then eventually we're like, where's the signs gone? They were completely covered in snow. The
Yep.
walls were 10, 12 feet high
snow
of snow,
of snow.
which if you've never seen snow before, it was an incredible sight.
It was like the most magical thing. Like I've got a video of us driving through this windy road, and it's like pine trees and just whiteness. It was just white.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy fuck, like we've got to get out. We've got to get out. Like we've got to touch this. Like
Yeah, so we were headed for the lake, but we were like, we need to stop somewhere and just enjoy this
we were
for a
just
bit.
so and so we pulled over at Lake Tahoe Airport, which is like about the size of this shed.
It's nothing. It was weird.
Little layer of snow on the floor, and I'm fucking trotting through it, and I'm like, this is amazing. And Aaron's like, I just need to touch it.
Yeah.
Biggest mistake you can make.
Yeah,
Don't touch snow.
Don't stick your hand on the snow and expect it.
Don't touch
do
snow
anything
without
but hurt.
gloves on, because Aaron's just like, it's almost like getting an electric shock.
Sort of, yeah.
It's so icy cold that
It's an intense pain.
And it hurts.
It stings.
And I had gloves on, luckily, but Aaron was just like...
I just grabbed a handful and was like, this is cool. Ah! I just dropped it, but it doesn't go away. Your hand goes numb and it's painful. But it's so much fun at
So
the
we were
airport.
like, yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is really cool.
Let's keep going.
We need to keep going, though, because we need to get to our destination.
But in saying that as well, we also had limited time at Lake Tahoe because we had another Sacramento game to go to that night.
Yeah.
So we needed to get to Lake Tahoe early and we needed to leave about 4.
About 4 the latest, yeah.
So by the time we actually got there, it was about 9:30, I think.
Yeah, it was about 9:30 by the time we actually got to the lake. Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of time. It seems like it, but we didn't have a lot of time. That time, flew.
It flew.
It flew.
I really do wish we had at least another day there because we would have spent it amazingly.
I wish we had another week there.
I'd easily spend a couple. I would have spent my entire holiday there.
I want to go back.
But as we drove in to Lake Tahoe, everything changed.
It just got better.
It was just better. Everything was amazing. It's hard to explain without seeing it yourself.
Yeah.
The videos are going to do a little bit for you.
Very little justice for it.
We decided to park up and go get something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even remember how we found. I think you just Googled something to eat.
We just went and we just parked up and we followed this little trail.
Which is cool as hell. Snow trail.
We thought, let's go have a quick look first. We can't just stop and eat. We need to look. And it was a snow trail and Aaron got so fascinated. There was like a lakey, obviously like a harbour where you park your boats and stuff. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Obviously there's no boats there and there was a pine cone frozen and Aaron's just like, this is frozen pine cone. It's the most
check it out. It's a frozen pine cone. He's like, what do you mean? It's just the water. I was like, that is frozen. That's solid frozen.
So as we got further around, it was the ocean and it was just... what you imagine in a movie is mountains with snow on top. Just ocean and snow.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and it was like a ski slope.
Yeah.
And it was just...
a giant ski slope.
Holy shit. We stood there probably maybe for about 10 minutes. We didn't say anything to each
that.
other.
More than that. Yeah.
We didn't say anything.
Just took it all in.
We just stood there, just kept standing, and people are walking past us like fucking tourists, but holy shit.
Well, even in the videos we took, it doesn't look real. It looks fake.
Yeah.
And you see these other people's videos and movies, and you think, oh, it's all fake. Like they just kind of dress it up a little bit. But that's the sort of place you go to. We don't need to fake it because it is that incredible.
Even things to them which are really annoying. Snow's annoying to them because, like they were saying, this is just average life for us. Yeah. But even seeing icicles hanging off. So their roofs are like this and there's icicles hanging off of it and they're dripping because they're melting. And then on the roof there's snow about this thick and it's just sitting there like a perfect little square. And it was like being in a movie set almost. It wasn't real.
Yeah, legit.
So then we decided...
It felt like a fake town.
We're like, hey, we need to eat because we haven't eaten yet.
Yeah.
So we find this cute little pubby type cafe thing.
Yeah, let's go there because it
had
has
a fireplace out the
front.
front.
Outside,
yeah, which we didn't end up sitting out front anyway.
No, it was too cold.
But there was a fireplace inside. And so we walked in, 3 really lovely people that obviously work there, really good with locals and that as well. But yeah, she was like, sit down anywhere. And I was like, I want to sit in front of the fire. And she was like, yeah, sure. Do you want a hot chocolate? And we're like, yeah. Do you want cream? Yes. Comes out with in a mug with and chocolate over it, and all of a sudden I look over at you and he's
bacon and eggs as well.
Okay, so bacon and eggs, hot chocolate in a mug with cream with chocolate drizzled on top of it in front of a fireplace. You look out a window.
I'm staring out into.
You look out this window and there's snow, mountains, ski slopes. He's crying.
It was the perfect scenery. I mean, I think I might cut you off there, but yeah, it was. Honestly, it just felt like the perfect moment. I got married 2 years ago, and I didn't cry at my wedding, but neither did Em, so she can't say that I'm a terrible human for not crying. But I just had a good day that day. This was it just felt like the perfect moment where, I'm only 37. It's not like I've been working my entire life. What people say, I've been working for so long and I deserve all this and that. However, I still feel like we've been through enough and a rough trot and this and that you'd probably at times never thought that something like that moment just would ever happen. Those are for rich people. Those moments are for, they just don't happen in real life. So I was just sitting there, just taking it all in, and I'm starting to feel it again, where I was just like, man, this moment right here, perfection. Like, I couldn't have been any happier at that moment, and here it comes. I couldn't have been any happier at that moment. And then you looking at me like, are you crying? I was like, no.
No, the water's getting to me and it's freezing.
Like, it's really cold.
It's really cold.
But yeah, no, I was like, yeah, okay, I am. Honestly, this moment is so perfect, and I just feel so blessed to be here. And because I knew that my health wasn't the best at the time, I was a little bit scared. And as soon as he got there, I felt that air because it was super thin. And I was honestly just like, well, even if I died in the next few days, like I'm fucking happy right now. So I was like, it is what it is. So at that point in time, I didn't give a shit how I felt because I was just so happy to be there, and it was incredible. But the day just got better. Like, that was 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was quiet. Like, there was a few people around, but it was super quiet. The town was quiet. There was no tourists around. There was a couple of people we saw walk out on the beach, and then from there, we're like, what do we do? Like, let's go and find a trail. All the trails were closed, and I'm not too sure why.
A lot of them were snowed over.
Yeah, the snow was heavy.
We basically just ended up following a bunch of vehicles, and then it was a road closed, but there was cars parked all along the side, and we're like, fuck it, we'll just park along the side too. But we didn't follow anyone. We just made our own trail.
Yeah, everyone was walking in their own direction because there was snow everywhere. It's not like
we'd barely been there for 5 minutes after getting out, and Erin slipped down. So we walked up this little mountain of snow, which is probably about this high from
First
the floor.
time we'd ever walked on snow, to be fair.
So we went up, and the smart thing to have done would have to come back down the way we came up. But Erin's like, I'll go down this way.
I've never walked on snow, so
it was very slippery.
I expected it to be like a mound of dirt.
It's so slippery.
It was brown. Like, it didn't look pretty. It was just this big mound of dirty snow.
It was
slippery
I'll just walk as
down,
all
it'd be
fuck.
good. But as soon as I took that first step, it felt like ice, and zoop.
So Erin was on his ass. Erin's gotten up, and he's like, all right, come on, Emma, you'll go. And we were cacking ourselves. Like, we were laughing so much at the image of you sliding down, and there's just this big indentation in the thing of where you've gone. So he's like, come on, it's your turn. And now, so I've gone down, and I've just kind of like... just kind of accepted my fate, didn't I? Just kind of went down.
Oh, that's hilarious. And from there, we just decided, let's just go for a hike, and we just started walking.
But we just couldn't stop laughing. Yeah. Like, everything was funny. Like, it was so joyful. Like, snow is so joyful. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you live in it, it's not. But, yeah, it was just so freaking joyful.
Just hear the crunch under your feet.
The slipping over. Every time I looked over at Erin, he's fallen over, or his feet were about this far in snow because he's taken a step and his foot's gone through it. Like,
yeah, this is like real snow. So it's not like the snow we get here, which apparently is just covering.
Nah, it was snow, and it was
like
thick,
thin. But this stuff was thick, so I was losing half my leg. I was just falling in a hole. But it was so much fun. Like Em said, like no matter what happened, we were just laughing and having a good time.
Well, at that point, then we started hiking quite a fair bit because Erin's grand plan was, let's get to the top of the mountain.
I wanted that picture where you overlook the lake and you see everything. I just wanted that amazing picture.
The mountain probably would have taken us about 2 hours to climb.
Yeah.
We realised about 20 minutes in it was not a good idea.
But we kept going. I was like, I just really want to see a bear. I was like, let's see some wildlife. No matter
saw
what
a lot of tracks.
It was so tons.
I would have loved to have seen some bear tracks.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
But then we realised if we see bear tracks, that's going to mean there's a bear.
Yeah.
And we got pretty high by this point.
Yeah.
And you're like, hang on, this is pretty thick because it started getting quite thick with trees.
Yep.
And we're like, all right, if
our
you turn around,
footprints started disappearing.
Yeah. As you turn around, you can't see anything anymore except trees.
We couldn't hear anyone.
There's not going to be a photo. There's no one around. It's not going to be a photo opportunity. And you're like, yeah, if we see a bear track, just imagine like how hard it was to get up that mountain because walking in snow is not easy. It takes it out of you. If we see a bear,
bears can run.
Us
bears
trying
can climb.
to turn around and run away, well, it was never going to happen.
We're
You would not outrun a bear in snow any day of the week.
But in saying that as well, then you started struggling because we started getting higher.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
And so we made a decision. We were like, we need to get going.
Yeah, my heart was absolutely thumping. I was not feeling good. I was getting very lightheaded, but I was still thoroughly enjoying it. But I didn't want it to end. But I said, yeah, we need to go because I'm feeling quite average.
So we found the urgent care.
Found the edge of
We
convenient,
made an
yeah.
executive decision. We basically got told, or we looked up, that a doctor's appointment in America, if you don't have insurance, not even health insurance, like not travel insurance, but health insurance, was about $176 US just to see the doctor.
Yeah.
That's just to see the doctor.
Unbelievable.
So we got in there. We just instantly, two really lovely girls. One was actually from South Africa. She was really nice. I had a really good chat with her. And then another girl lived in Lake Tahoe all her life.
Yeah.
Really thick accent too. Like, she was such a nice girl. And we basically explained it to her, and then we told her we're from Australia. She went in and spoke to the doctor. The doctor said, look, because I don't need to check.
I knew what I needed.
Yeah. We don't have Ventolin, but we have something that's similar. I'll do you a doctor's appointment for $40 US. So it's still expensive.
It was basically just the cost of the script.
Still expensive, but yeah. And then you went in because she wanted to check your blood pressure and everything, and that's basically when you got told that.
Yeah.
But in that time, I was standing out there talking to the South African girl because she was asking me all about Australia, and she basically said the heat in South Africa is kind of similar to Australia.
And then we got talking about how we really wanted to see a bear.
And she's like, oh, I really want to go to Australia, but I'm scared of snakes. And I'm like, but when we're talking about bears, she goes, oh, there's a mum and 2 babies that live right behind us.
And they come down.
And they come down all the time. And they're more scared of you than you are of them. Oh, I don't want to go to Australia because I'm scared of snakes. And I was like, you're fucking joking, right? I was like, you're scared of a snake, but you've got a bear family living behind you.
In a bear box.
In a bear box. They got to put boxes and lock and padlock their bins because the bears have figured out how to open the bins. The bears have even figured out how to unpadlock the bins to get into them.
Yeah. Crazy.
But she's scared of snakes.
Yeah. She's like, oh, the mama and the cubs are so cute. I wish you could see them.
Oh, yeah,
We're like,
fucking
we'd
cuddle
love to
them.
have, but
I would have loved to, yeah. But then we were dealing with your thing. So in the end, they gave him script. We ended up finding a chemist, which they sent the script to. The chick there basically said,
do you have insurance?
do you have insurance? No. This is going to cost you about...
$70.
It was like $70, $80 US. And we were like...
Just
Erin just flat out went, fuck off.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, oh, fuck off.
And she just went...
immediately.
And she's like, look, I will... She
you a
must have
discount.
picked we're from Australia or something. I don't know, but they might have had you... Because she had to take your driver's license as well. But she's like... Leave it with me. Go walk around the shopping centre and I'll see what I can do. Come back in about 10 minutes. So we went back in 10 minutes and she gave it to us for about
$40.
$30-$40 US. But she was really lovely too. She didn't have to help us. She put a discount card on it basically.
Yeah.
So she does a huge favour.
Yeah.
And then you instantly, as soon as she handed it to you, you started breathing normally again.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you
had it
had...
in my hand, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't as good, I think you said.
No, it's pretty different.
But it worked because as soon as you took the first few puffs, your face went from panic to thank fuck.
Yeah.
Like you instantly...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, having the heart problems, blood pressure problems, and then asthma on top of all that, not what you want. So to have that one issue sorted and just have the asthma and my lungs okay at the period, I was like, oh, thank God.
So then after all that, we went and got some lunch. Cute little cabiny pub thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was cute,
Trying
yeah.
to find a log cabin pub that we could
had
go
some
to.
lunch. Lunch was nice. Then we just went straight back out there, didn't we? We just were like, let's just start walking again.
Yeah, back out and
We had about
opposite side.
We had about 3 hours at this point, and we were like, we need to make the most of this.
Because I wanted to go fly the drone, but we were like, oh, well, if we go fly the drone, it was more that if we went and flew the drone, we'd have less time to do other stuff. So we just made the decision, no drone, which is a little bit sad because we would have had some amazing footage out on that lake. But yeah, we just wanted to walk the snow as much as we could while we were there. So we went back again to the same spot, but we walked to the opposite side this time because we knew there was a beach, because it said there was signs to say there was a beach somewhere. Well, let's go find this beach because it's sort of where everyone was sort of headed. So we walked out, and it's pretty thick, like it's forest. It's literally forest, Northern California forest. Walking through it, and all of a sudden it just opens out wide open,
frozen
into an opening, and you're like, wow, what is this? There's no trees around. It's weird as. Like, this is the beach. We are walking on the beach.
Yeah,
it's completely frozen over.
We were walking on it because it was snow, but obviously underneath it, so it was about this much snow, and then underneath it was obviously the beach, which was frozen, the water. And we were walking, and then all of a sudden Erin took a step, and you've just heard this, like, cracking sound echoing, and Erin was like, get off.
No, well, I was like, all right, that's kind of scary. I was like, how deep is it? So I just started wiping the snow away. Didn't get far at all. I was like, oh shit, there it is, because it's just ice there.
Yeah, and you saw the ocean under it.
That thin. So I was like, shit, like, let's not go too far out.
Yeah,
so
Aaron was like,
back a bit.
we gotta go, we gotta get off, we gotta get off.
We did spend a lot of time there.
That was probably where we got the best photos.
Oh, some of those photos are incredible.
We took,
as you can see, great
the best photos was like the one of us two, even me throwing the snowballs and stuff. We had a snowball fight.
We did. Have
We
a
did.
snowball
I didn't
fight.
play fair.
No, they hurt. This snowball fight's bullshit. You see it and you're like, oh, it looks like so much fun. No pain at all. She was getting the
Chunks
hardest
of ice.
chunks of
Fucking
ice and
ditching them at
ditching
him.
them. And goddamn, it hurts. I was being nice and trying to find fluffy snow, but then when you throw it, it just kind of disappears.
Yeah.
As you throw it, just breaks away.
Nah.
And she's like throwing these hard ice blocks at me. I'm like, nah, screw this. Started getting blocks and throwing them. Oh, and then it broke through some of the ice a couple of times. I got stuck in the ice.
Yeah.
They had to come and rescue me because my foot got stuck and I couldn't get out. Just the amazing fun you can have.
We both did snow angels. We had a snow fight.
Yep.
I went down a
And
snow
went down
sled.
the snow
I went
sled.
down a snow sled.
Somebody left a snow sled that was clearly
It was
smashed.
broken.
Shouldn't have tried, but we needed to.
Aaron
We had
tried to
go.
stand on it.
Yeah, well, here's the results of that effort. That hurt like shit. All right, you see snow and we're walking
Nah, it's
through,
not soft and
crunchy.
fluffy.
It ain't soft and fluffy at all, especially if people have wiped away
Yeah.
a spot for your snow
No,
to
it's solid.
actually go down.
What did you think you were going to do?
I thought I was going to
Surf down it?
all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so dumb.
You got about this far.
I don't
I'm
even
so
think I got
glad I made an executive decision to whip my phone out and push record, because as I pushed it,
that. Yeah.
you went down.
God. The wind out of me immediately. I couldn't
Your hat was
breathe.
crooked when you got up. Oh, my God.
It hurts so
I
much.
nearly wet myself.
And as you can see, I looked straight at my hand because my hand hit the ground and it was sitting on the ground for a couple of
Suppose you didn't
seconds. I couldn't feel my finger, this finger, I couldn't feel that for about 3 hours because it went completely numb with
We had to make
frostbite.
sure we put your gloves back on straight away. And then,
gloves back on. It was, I hurt so much.
Well, and then we
I
had
was
to
still
leave.
pissing myself laughing.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, and
Then we had to
immediately
leave.
after that, we left, went and started driving.
That was
And
so
the funny thing
sad.
is, as we were leaving, driving back up the hill we came from, because we were driving the opposite direction on the way in, we didn't see everything that was behind us. Like, we were driving, seeing stuff opening up, and we're like, oh, this is cool. Like, we see a bit of snow and then a bit more. But what we didn't see behind us is the entire mountains were just covered in snow. So as we were driving back out, it was just like, wow, this is amazing. Something we didn't see before.
I think the most terrifying thing was, though, is you drove there. So I was like, look, I'll do you a solid and I'll drive back. Because you were tired.
Yeah.
Because it was just a long day, and then obviously asthma and everything.
It was about a
And
2-hour drive.
He's put maps on for me because I don't know where I'm going, and it's in his hand, and he's fallen dead asleep, and I'm trying to like hold on for dear life because there's like potholes and people are fucking overtaking me, and I'm doing the speed limit. People are overtaking me,
Yeah.
and they want to do more than 65 miles an hour. Anyway, every time I kept looking over, your thumb kept falling over and like wiping the app, and I was like, fuck. So I'm like trying to wake you up. Oh my God, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
Eventually I got onto a freeway and there was no more potholes, and I was like, God.
Yeah. Oh, that was about an hour I slept for. And
We didn't even go home.
Did we?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we went to the hotel, quickly changed our shoes because our shoes were wet.
Well, we weren't even sure that we were going to have time to do that.
Nah.
So we were running quite late because we wanted to spend as much time we could in Lake
didn't
Tahoe.
want to
So
leave.
we spent a little bit longer than we needed to, or we should have. So getting back actually took a little bit longer anyway, and we were like, shit, we got to make a decision. Do we go straight to the arena because there was another Kings game that night, or do we go to the hotel, quickly change and go? luckily we got back and we're like, all right, we've got enough time. That you ran in, changed your shirt, changed your shoes and stuff. I don't think I changed anything.
You didn't need to, but my shoes were canvas, so they were soaked.
Yeah.
They were just saturated from snow.
Yeah, so quickly changed her shoes, and I think you changed your pants. Put
Chuck my
jeans
Fox
on.
jersey on, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Off we went to the next Kings game, which, again, amazing night. We had different seats this time. We were actually really close to the action. Utah Jazz had a good win. Fox didn't play, unfortunately. He was injured that night. He got injured the night before, so we were watching that, and he got injured in the third quarter.
Got to see Holmes play for a little bit, though.
Yeah, that was good. So
I was happy.
Em got to see Holmes, and Dellavedova played as well, which was cool, which probably
He
wouldn't
got
happen
the,
any other time. He got the MVP chain.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So we got to see a few extra players. Sabonis played well in both games.
Yeah.
So we got to see a lot more than we probably
Well,
normally
Holmes is
would,
my
so.
favourite player, so I'm glad I at least got to see like 10 minutes of him play a
Yeah.
game.
We were going to get there early so we could actually get him to sign his jersey that I actually have on my left shoulder here. We took it with us, but we didn't get there early enough to try and get anyone to sign anything this time. So, and because the team was winning, there was a bit more interest around them, so there was probably more people and would have worked out. But so yeah, really close to the action. We were probably only about 6 rows off the court, which was super cool. Got some great videos, great photos. Enjoyed the game. Another good win. We were comfortably winning the entire game, even though it got close at times. We were always winning. And yeah, got to light the beam again.
Yourself, another good shooting night, 27 points for you. You got the hot hand. You ready to hit the beam with the hot hands? Count it down. 3, 2, 1.
Same thing. We went outside and enjoyed the time we had out there, and we went up on our top of our parking lot and took some great photos of the bridge and the Golden Bridge. It's not the Golden Gate Bridge, but Sacramento has got their own Golden Bridge. Some great photos of the beam, and then back to the hotel and saw the beam there as well, and we went to sleep pretty much.
Well, we had to because we were getting up super early that next morning to fly back.
Yeah, so that I think the annoying part was we had to fly back at about 5 a.m. again the next day. So the sucky part, was back to the airport for a 7 a.m. flight. And then
We had to pick up the chick to pick up the car. We had to fuel up the car.
It's stressful doing all that too.
It is,
Just like if anything goes wrong, like this could be
We
bad.
didn't even clean the car, but she didn't clean it for us. So she was chilled. She was
very
chilled.
chilled.
She really did us a favour, and then we picked her up at a fuel station, and she drove us to the airport because we didn't know how or where to go in the airport, what terminal to go to.
Yeah,
so she was really helpful.
Yeah, and I didn't know how much because you got to pay for the fuel up front there, which is really annoying because you don't know how much you need to put in, especially when they're talking gallons. No idea. So I was just like, hey, how much should I put in? So luckily she was there. She said, I'll just put in $20.
Yeah, she was chilled. She was real good.
Because it could have been anything.
She just did us a huge favour from the get-go, just giving us the Camry, having it there within an hour. You know, she was very helpful.
Yeah, so that overall was a really great trip. We had a lot of fun in Sacramento. Of course, we went to another Walmart while we were there. I don't know if we bought anything there though.
Oh, we went to Walmarts everywhere. We probably at least went to at least one Walmart a day.
Oh, just about.
Sometimes twice a day.
Yeah, we did actually when we were looking for
We're just
certain things.
obsessed. Once we found out that they had Baby Yoda stuff there, we were like, right, let's go.
Yeah, and once we figured out that all stores had different stuff too as well. So, let's find another one.
And then we also needed another suitcase.
Yeah. That's worked out really well, but that comes later.
Yeah.
So that's it. Back to LA. We got there super early. What did we do when we got there? I don't even remember.
I don't think we did much that day.
Because we went and stayed in...
that might have been when we went to the Laugh
Bondi
Factory,
Beach.
actually.
No, we went to... That was a last minute decision. So that was that day. So we got back to
That-
LA Sunday morning, and we were like, well, should we go to the Los Angeles Lakers Chicago Bulls game? It was at lunchtime.
Is
We
that-
got back about 10.
Is that the day that we picked up the next car, though, as well?
It is. So we're getting there. So we got to the airport and we organised to pick up the car about a block away. So we got an Uber to the car, which was pretty cheap because it was pretty close.
Oh.
Picked up the car and what a beast.
Oh, instantly creamed my knickers as soon as I saw it.
Cream the knickers.
Creamed my knickers.
Mind you, like just looking at the car was amazing. And then Em's like,
Oh,
can I start it? Can I
he
start it?
let
Can I
me
start it?
start it. Let me start it. I was like, please let me start. I'm in my slippers.
I'm
I was
so
like,
glad I took a video. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, some guy was walking his dog. He just kept doing a lap because he just seen our reaction to the car.
And he was like, what is
He's just walking around us like...
The best
probably
thing
thought we were
about this
stealing it.
video is like you see me, Hoppy and Aaron's filming the back of the car, and we're like, okay, it's gonna be a decent
sound
car.
nice.
It's gonna sound nice. So good.
I did not expect that.
So good. Fucking raw. And I've just like poked my head out the car and I was like, holy shit.
Neither of us expected that.
Shook.
At all.
It was
whole car
the
shook.
whole car shook. It was loud.
I mean, the Challenger is a beautiful car anyway, but they've obviously done some work to it, and my God, did it sound good. And driving that thing, at that point, from when I started driving that was the best car I'd ever driven in my life.
Holy crap. Mustangs have always been my car. I've always wanted a Mustang. Fuck the Mustang. I still want a Mustang.
Yeah.
Okay, it's slightly cheaper.
And that's easy.
But
We'll actually get them.
holy crap, I wanted one of them. That car was something. Everywhere you went in a Mustang, people had them, and no one really looked at you. But everywhere we went in that car,
Yeah.
someone acknowledged us.
Yeah.
Someone was like, you could see him looking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what a car.
It was incredible.
What
Even
a
when we
car.
started up, the guy that was following us, it was just like, oh, damn. I could just see
Yeah.
him like, oh, shit.
The
that was
dog
cool.
jumped out of its freaking skin like, oh my God, what a car. But then you booted me. You were like, get out.
Get out. I'm driving.
I'm driving. Get the fuck out. Like, that
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
That was something else.
It was incredible. And it drove beautifully too.
And we should have taken a video of you driving up and down that street, because I said we need to do a driving video in that car, but
Yeah.
we didn't.
No.
But we should have done, because that was such an empty street.
Yeah,
and
we should have done it.
we were just, at that point, we were like, we
get in the
we
go.
just want to get in this car.
Yeah, so we drove it out to Redondo Beach. Was pretty much the rest of our stay was at that hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 11 days or 10 days there.
Mm.
When it says, again, this is another thing that they do when they say the hotel name and where it is.
We were nowhere near Redondo
So
Beach.
yeah, Redondo Beach. Last time we went, it's a beautiful beach, and it's literally right on the beach. And last time we went, the reason we went there is because we love the OC, and the OC filmed at Redondo Beach in this particular cafe that we went to last time, and again this time. We wanted to be as close to that as possible because it's a really nice area. However, we stayed at this Redondo Beach motel that was 23 minutes from Redondo Beach. So not a short distance at all. It's like 12 or 13 kilometers away from Redondo Beach. It's nowhere near it. It was in Gardena, which was nowhere near Redondo Beach at all. So they're very cheeky. So if you do go and stay in America, just have a look. Just check out the distances between the places that you need to actually stay at, because these places will lie to you and call things different to get you to stay in their hotel. So it worked out well anyway. Like
It served its purpose.
and it actually had a lot of stuff around that we needed, and it was in a good location. It was central to pretty much everywhere we wanted
There's
to go.
food everywhere, literally in walking distance.
Yeah.
A
We walked a lot of
laundromat.
places. The chemist directly
chemist,
opposite us was handy.
because we got sick.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Always getting sick. Yeah, so that worked out really, really, really
It was
well.
all right, yeah. It had parking.
And that night, we didn't have anything to do. So I said, well, let's find something to do. Looked up something to do on a Sunday night and found the comedy show at the Laugh Factory.
Laugh
So
Factory,
super famous place, the Laugh Factory on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood.
It was a pretty a very last minute decision because I think it hit about 7 o'clock at night and we're like, what do you want to do? Do you want to have dinner? And we're like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden you're like, I've bought tickets to the Laugh Factory in... It starts at 9. It was 7:30 at that time. It took us 40 minutes to get there, and we're like, "Fuck!"
This is crazy because we've driven in and out of Hollywood a few times, and it only took us 15 minutes or so. But Hollywood or the LA traffic is it's
So
impossible
bad.
to read. Like it was only 15 k's or so away, but yeah, it took us 45 minutes to get there, which is insane.
On the way home from the Laugh Factory, not a car in sight. 20-minute drive.
Yeah, if that.
Not even that. 15 minutes.
We almost died that night too.
That's not even funny.
It's not, but it is now.
It's not funny.
But anyway, went to Laugh Factory. Fantastic show.
Oh, it was bloody good.
Hilarious.
Oh, we got valet parking too because we're like, we don't know where to park, so we're like valet parking.
We're like, no, we'll go and park somewhere, but eventually we couldn't.
The valet
figure out where to
parking was
park.
good though because like even as soon as you pulled up, the guy instantly approached your window. The other guy came around and opened my door for me and like held my door open for me, like full proper like service, like, you know. And you could just see this guy like ready to park it. He was just like, you fucking
Everyone turned to look at
It
us.
was loud. That car was loud. Yeah, then we had the show, and the very funny thing about the show was one of the jokes was he said, I don't know how it came along, but basically he said, oh, you can tell all the rich white people in here, or he's like, you can tell the white people in here because they all rock up in shorts and sandals, and Aaron's in shorts and thongs.
Yeah, sorry.
And he goes, and they drive the loudest
And the
car
car
that
they
rocks
drive when
up.
they rock up.
So, of course, this comedian was out the front, and all these, like, you know, like they were all obviously African-American, and they're all, like, over him and, like, loving on him. He was bloody good.
Yeah, that last one, yeah. So they had a
Fuck, he
surprise
was good.
comedian. So they had all these other comedians throughout the show
Oh, they were
that
good.
were just general. They come and do that shit.
Trying to make...
But they're trying to make a name
Yeah.
for themselves. And then they said, oh, we have a surprise guest for our last segment. And here he is. I can't remember the damn name. The
He
guy's
was
name.
bloody good.
But he was so funny. You could tell he was a professional
Yep.
comedian. Like he's been
He didn't
in
even
shows
try. Like, he
before.
wasn't even trying.
No.
He was just bloody
You
funny.
could tell he didn't have anything written. He
No.
was just talking shit.
Yeah.
And he was so funny.
And so he was out the front, and obviously all these girls are all over him.
He's dripped out in gold
Yeah,
and fur
and a
coat.
big fur coat. And we wanted to go over to him, but all of a sudden, our freaking valet brings our car back, and of course
Just
it's
hearing it.
loud. And then, of course, the guy that was driving it gave it a few revs.
Yeah, as he's coming around
And
the corner.
Erin said I could drive. So there's this skinny blonde girl with pink hair. I didn't belong there. You knew I didn't belong there because I'm in a Disney jumper. They're all dressed up. Like, they were treating it as if, like, they were going to the club.
Oh, yeah.
That's
they were,
how
they
these
were clearly
they
going
were
out
all
afterwards with
dressed
their
up.
posse.
I'm in a Disney jumper, some boots on, and some jeans. Aaron's in shorts and thongs. This big car rocks up, revs up, and you can see all these, obviously, like, all these other people really dressed up, being like, "Damn," you know, like how you would imagine they
Literally,
do
like,
it.
"Oh,
Damn! And then this skinny blonde bitch hops in the car, and you just saw all the guys be like, "Holy shit!" Even you were like, "You're being eyeballed." Like,
Yeah. I was like, God damn it. I feel like such a pussy.
all the black guys, they were
They were checking out that booty, to be fair.
of the car.
Well, car and yours as well, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
They were
I
all
thought it was
checking me
hilarious.
out, and as I took off.
Yeah, she put the foot
I
down.
put my foot down just to solidify the fact that, like,
Which is actually funny because she put her foot down so hard that she missed the turn, which we immediately had to take. We're like, shit, we're going to do a circle now.
that was fine. I did it again. But the non-funny thing of that was it was a really good night, but LA roads are fucking dangerous.
Yeah. This would have been about midnight.
Midnight, when I say not a car on the road, barely a car on the road. Barely.
I mean, compared to our traffic, there's much more than ours.
But barely anyone.
But there was still-
There's 7 lanes.
7 lanes and probably a car in each.
Yes.
That's
But,
not-
like, not next to each other, like, all dispersed. I'm doing the speed limit, which was 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're on the wrong side of the road as well, with the opposite side of the car. And I needed to merge over because we were going to take an exit soon. So Erin's like, oh, you might want to get over soon.
I even looked as well first, by the way.
So-
I looked in the mirror. I was like, yeah, you're good.
I checked my rear vision mirror. I checked the side mirror. And then I actually turned and looked. You looked, indicated, started moving over. And I'm telling you, there was no one there.
Yeah.
There was no one behind us. Not a headlight in sight. And within seconds of me indicating and slightly moving over, imagine if I'd moved over quicker too, by the way. Our whole car, we've just heard this, zoom, and the whole car rocked.
Yeah.
And we just went, holy shit. This car was a full drive too.
It's like a Mercedes-Benz,
holy fuck.
Big vehicle.
He was flying. He was flying so much. Within seconds of doing this and slightly moving, he was there. And I'm not even going to joke, he missed our car by that much.
Yeah, I agree.
He was so close to us and going so fast that the whole car shook, and you have no idea how much I was holding onto that steering wheel the whole way home, just like...
I didn't say a word.
I was shaking.
The entire way home because obviously
I cried. I was crying. I was like shaking. Like if he hit us, if I had decided to move any quicker, or I don't know, I can't even think, but you would have been gone, definitely, because he was on your side. That car wouldn't have made it. That car had airbags, but he was at least doing 200 miles an hour.
He probably was doing about 220 to 250k an hour, I reckon.
Which is what?
I don't know, 170 miles an hour, something like that. 220 to 250k an hour, just insane.
In a full drive.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have been coming home.
No, and we had a big car, and that would have taken some fair hitting to do some damage to that car, and I reckon that car would have been Paul Walkered.
The entire way home, all I could think of, I kept blaming myself. I just kept thinking, like, did I not look properly? What did I do wrong? Like, what did I miss? Like, I almost killed us.
Right, yeah, that's the way you felt. And I didn't know what to say either because I was like, well, I also looked and you were fine. There was no one there. I did see a car in the background, but it was so far away. I was like, by the time you merge over, you'll be fine. The car will go around us and it would be miles away. But no, didn't even have time to say, look out. Like, there it was. I could still hear it in my ear now.
I remember the shake.
Yeah, crazy.
I would have killed us.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have killed us. He would have killed us. We would definitely have been dead. So that was not so fun, but we were alive, and again, we didn't have insurance, so that's another reason why we almost died.
I didn't drive for a couple of days after that.
No, you weren't too confident to drive again for a while.
I couldn't drive after that. I was getting cocky, and I couldn't drive after that.
Yeah, so that was Sunday. Monday, we drove to San Diego. So there's not a lot of break here. Like.